Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, chapter number 10 and text number 17. Tasya te chapa nirmuktaha bitva varmani rakshasam kayan avivishuhu tigmaha girin asanayah yatha tasyate chapa nirmukta bitva varmani rakshasam kayanam vivishu tigma girishanayo yatha tasyate chapa nirmukta bitva varmani rakshasam kayan avivishuhu tigma girin asannayo yatha tasyate chapa nirmukta bitva varmani rakshasam kayanam vivishu tigma girin asannayo yatha. Mothers. Tasya of Dhruva, te, those arrows, chapa, from the bow, nirmuktaha, released, bitva, having pierced, varmani, shields, rakshasam, of the demons, kayan, bodies, avivishuhu, entered, tigma, sharp, girin, mountains, asanayaha, thunderbolts, yatha, just like. The sharp arrows released from the bow of Dhruva Maharaj pierced the shields and bodies of the enemy, like the thunderbolts released by the King of Heaven, which dismantled the bodies of the mountains. Text number 18 and 19 together. Ballaihi sanchidyamananam shirobhis charu kundalehi urubhi Hemalatala Bhedor Virphalya Valgubhi Harakeyur mukutai Ashnischai Mahadhanehi Astastrustasta Ranabhuvo Reju Viram Manoharaha. Ballaihi means by his arrows. Sanchidyamananam of the yakshas who were cut to pieces, Shirobhihi with the heads, Charu beautiful, Kundalaihi with earrings, Urubhihi with thighs, Hematalabihi like golden palm trees, Dorbhihi with arms, Valaya Valgubihi with beautiful bracelets, Har with garlands, Keyura armlets, Mukutaihi, the helmets, Ushni Shaihi with the turbans, Cha and Mahadhanaihi, very valuable, Astraha covered, Tat, those Rana Bhuvaha battlefield, Reju begin to glimmer, Veera of the heroes, Manaharaha bewildering the minds. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The great sage Maitreya continued, my dear Vidura, the heads of those who were cut to pieces by the arrows of Dhruva Maharaj were decorated very beautifully with earrings and turbans. Their legs of the bodies were as beautiful as golden palm trees. Their arms were decorated with golden bracelets, and the armlets on their heads, and their very valuable helmets bedecked with gold. All these ornaments lying on the battlefield were very attractive and could bewilder the minds of heroes. It appears that in those days, the soldiers used to go to the battlefield highly decorated with golden ornaments and with the helmets and turbans. And when they were dead, the booty was taken by the enemy party. Their falling dead in battle with many golden ornaments, dresses were certainly a lucrative opportunity for the heroes on the battlefield. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshul Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jutapatakawalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavauscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanutam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanutamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Shri Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namaha Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Generally, the battlefield is a very ghastly experience. But here we are told it's a very beautiful experience. Why? These are Rakshasas. Yakshas and Rakshasas are the 10th creation of Brahma, which were very, filled up with enviousness against Brahma himself. When Brahma was creating 10 different kinds of species, super species. The first 8 was up to the 4-legged animals. Number 9th is human. But the 10th is demigods and demons. These are 10 kinds of creations in Visarga of Brahma that he is putting so much intelligence and efforts. Of course, Krishna provided the ingredients. So previously, what he did, he is repeating the next day in creation. So this Visarga is important in order to understand the supreme envious nature that made the living entities separate from Lord Shri Krishna. And these three, number 9 and number 10 creation, are confronting all the time with envious nature amongst them. Human beings may not be envious to demigods because they are always in want of their favor. So rather they will become faithful even by understanding or not understanding. Kama isthirhata jnana prapadyantanya devata. Because their lusty desires are unfulfilled, they approach the demigods. But they do not know that I have empowered the demigods, Krishna says. I have empowered the demigods. And actually these boons are given to the human beings by me, but they are coming through via media, that's called demigods. So, Kama istesar hataghyana prapadyantanya devata tam tam niyam masthayam mayate vihita swaya. This is very nicely explained. So, human beings and demigods and demons, it's a triangle. And the middle between the human being and the demons, I mean, from the demigods and demons, the middle is human. Why? Because the traits of good character or bad character comes from them. So inclination to worship the demigods will bring him in a human form of life with some traits of demigods. Otherwise, they will be from asuras. You check your chart, astrological chart, they will say, are you coming from Rakshas Guna or Deva Guna? Yeah, and then check how is our composition or mindset in struggle for existence is there. So astrology is useful, but we are not dependent, because for devotees, what is the necessity of astrology? But Prabhupada said, if you have umbrella, use it. If we have something, why to discard? After all, everything has to be geared in service of Lord Krishna. So here, Dhruva Maharaj was overwhelmed by the yakshas, that they shower their arrows on Dhruva so immensely that it became like a fog and could not be removed. So Dhruva was a little bit upset. But then he shot the arrows and dispelled this magical, curtain that the yakshas put in front of Dhruva. There's so many arrows simultaneously shot by the yakshas that Dhruva was covered. Of course, he was not injured, but he was covered and he couldn't see. But he never lost his patience. He is more stronger. And he, in turn, became more vigorous in shooting the arrows. And his arrows are described that they are penetrating even the shields, and through the shield, the bodies. It has been told in Indian history of Rana Pratap that he was blindfolded and he was supposed to shoot with 7 big trees coming in between to shoot an arrow and kill his enemy. He was blindfolded, but nonetheless, he was able to pierce the heart of the enemy. He was hiding behind 7 trees. So, the arrows are on the target, and they are so powerful that they penetrated the protecting shield and enter into the body. And they were slaughtered wholesale. And the description is said, why do they have all the ornaments on their body? Even their thighs are separated from the body, so the whole leg is compared to the golden trunk of the tree. Golden palm trees. Why? They're decorated with gold. Why? Even the demons and yakshas and rakshas have so much opulence. Yeah, because their king was Kuber, the treasurer of the demigods. So why not? They would be decorated with so much riches. So Kuber was the leader of that kingdom of yakshas where Dhruva attacked and killed so many just for revenge of his brother Uttama. And Prabhupada is talking that after the war is over, even in Mahabharata, Yudhishthir Maharaj told Arjuna to collect all the gold that is strewn here and there in the battlefield. Then go, we need more gold. So he went to the North Himalaya, where the previous battles and others collected the gold. I mean, the heaps of garbage is set aside after the event is over. So similarly, gold was set aside. They may not have bulldozers to do that, but somehow or another they were dumped. And Arjuna was supposed to bring that when Yudhishthir Maharaj wanted to perform the Ashwamedha Yajna. So much riches. Riches was the means to worship the Supreme. Dvapare Paricharyayam. In Dvapar Yuga. You can see so much gold is collected by the temples in India. You will never find that kind of gold in USA, in that treasury also. In Knoxville, Tennessee, where the first atom bomb was also created, there is the gold depot for USA. Very tight security, everything is there. And because they have the highest amount of gold, their currency value, even though they are the biggest indebtor to the whole world, and the International Monetary Fund, IMF, they are the biggest debtor. Yet because of the gold standard is the original standard to calculate the wealth. But here in India, everything was in gold. Even the coins were of gold. And still the standard is gold because everybody will possess. If you can imagine, if gold is the most precious metal, how come in USA especially, people use only 14 karat gold? Here we use 24 karat gold. All Indians, they don't like anything under. Maybe 22 is okay. But the riches are coming from the gold standard, and it is still valid. I was listening to one topic one time describe this banking system. The banking system started by Rothschild family. And they conceived the idea that we can exchange the possession in terms of gold. So they were the first one in United States to start banking system by reservation of gold. So you have to calculate your wealth on the strength of how much gold you have. So that was for individual banking. But the national banking also have to adapt the same standard. Where do they get? Russia and Ukraine are fighting for how many? More than 3 months, right? And do you think that they are going to collect gold from Ukraine? But they will collect the whole territory because it is filled with riches. Otherwise, why they will destroy? So what Prabhupada is describing is correct. Whether the looting will be going on after the battlefield, all the ornaments can be collected directly, but that was immediate possession of gold. Immediate. They don't have to melt the gold ore or do the job. No. It takes hell of a time to dig out the gold. It takes hell of a time to melt the gold and then standardize it and then put in the treasury with markings and everything. It's a very, very intricate process. But in India, ready-made gold. Go to Tiruvananthapuram and just check out how much gold the temple has. Ananta Padmanabh, the richest temple in the whole world. And what to speak of Tirupati stands second. Why this standard is still there? And Dvapare Paricharyayam means you give charity of gold and worship the Supreme Lord, Narayan, because he is his consorted Lakshmi, direct. Why Kali Yuga is attacking his influence through staying in the gold also? After 4 places, he demanded for his protection, and that becomes our regulative principles of abstinence. But he said, Parikshit Maharaj, this is not enough. Can you give me some more places? Then he asked to stay in gold, and Parikshit was wearing the golden helmet. So they say, Kali entered into Parikshit, but no, he's a pure devotee. He cannot enter. But nonetheless, he was trying to stay. Parikshit never became allured by the gold, neither he tried to acquire anybody's possession, land, or anything. We don't see that Parikshit Maharaj has to fight with anybody. He was a Samrat, the whole world. So we see, they say Kali Yuga also entered in the gold, then he wanted some more place. So in some Puranas, they say, he also asked to stay in long hairs. To stay in long hairs. Mothers have a different job to sustain the legacy of bearing children, and without attraction of the long hair. Of course, if it is simply carried by the mode of passion, then Kali is there. There are many, many sadhvis having, recorded in Guinness Book of Records that they stay upstairs and their hairs fall on the ground that long. All right? But they are Mayavadis. They can never be devotees. So, for the purpose of preservation of the progeny, certain activity of the human being which is governed by the mode of passion is to be utilized in service of Krishna. So to become Prajapati, a mode of passion is required, but to conduct the order given by Lord Shri Krishna to populate the whole material world, give chance of unmanifested living entities after the annihilation of the whole material world. They cannot be annihilated, but they can be given ample opportunity so they can make their life perfect by following all these code of conducts and according to time, place, and circumstances, go through the historical references and they work out. History repeats itself, they say. But because we see that all the four yugas rotate in one day of Brahma, 12 hours, 1,000 times. If they are repeating, why not the history? What is the objection? So, in our literature, when gold is described, it has a very specific significance that if it is offered to Krishna, then will be saved from its effect of Kali. And that was the means in Dwapar Yuga before Kali can enter in gold. But nonetheless, that was the means of purification by offering kilos of gold. And today also, if you go to Kerala especially, the family in their marriage ceremonies, they purchase gold in kilos. Kilos. Have you heard? For the day of the marriage, the girl is overladen with gold ornaments, overladen. It's ugly to see gold, but nonetheless, that is the standard. It's still there. Marriage without gold is just like run away, and do not follow the process. They still believe that. So the idea is that because this yakshas were ruled by their leader, who is the treasurer of the demigods, they have access. They have access. They have a lot of ability to disappear in thin air and yet fight to surprise the enemies. So all the tricks have been used, but Dhruv Maharaj is an empowered personality, and he utilizes his skill to nullify them. He became very, very vigorous to shoot his arrows. And how the arrows have been described, that bhalaihi sanchidyamananam. All the yakshas, they were cut to pieces by the arrows. Sirobihi, with the heads severed. But they are all charu, means beautiful. Kundalaihi, with earrings. Urubihi, the thighs. Hema talabhaihi, like golden palm trees. Dorbihi, 2 arms. Valaya valgubihi, with beautiful bracelets. Har, with garlands. Keyur, armlets. Muktaihi, mukutaihi, the helmets. Ushnisaihi, with turbans. Cha, also mahadhanaihi, very valuable. Astraha, covered. Taha, those. Ranabhuvaha, battlefield. Rejuhu, began to glimmer. The whole battlefield started getting glimmer from the reflected sunlight on the gold ornaments. Veera, of the heroes. Manaharaha, it's bewildering the mind. Bewildering when gold is all over and those who are left unharmed, they will see, wow, now nobody is there, only me, and all gold is mine, like that. So this bewilderment towards the gold is to be understood in Kali Yuga. Try to refrain. But Prabhupada said, if you have an umbrella, use it. Hey Maharaj, why do you wear the rings? Prabhupada had also golden tooth. He had also some rings. And our pujaris are also put butts and buttons and so much. What is the necessity? Well, they have significance, even the astrological application. We do not depend upon it, but it is not a wrong science. Krishna doesn't say that. So, if you have umbrella, you can use it to make sure everything is all right in your preaching. All right? My mother used to say me, you have been born in Mul Nakshatra and you will have Sunny in front of you. Please wear this. And I never wore, but when she was dying, she reminded me, put on. I said, okay. I have to fulfill the wish of my mother. So anyway, this is how and one of my disciples, just few months back, before I left India, he said, Maharaj, I want to give you golden ring, but Prabhupada did it. I said, go ahead, no problem. I will have Prabhupada in front of my finger. I'll see. If there is nowhere, at least I can see and start worshipping. So he gave me. So it increased to number 3 now. I had only two before. Before that, I had only one. Oh my God. So many requisites are there because the body is made under the influence of the three modes of material nature. And we have to surpass it. So if you have umbrella, use it. Don't criticize. Prabhupada says. Like father, like son. That's the way it is. So anyway, this is an important observation that we have, that Prabhupada is talking that in previous time is starting from the beginning. Now, Dhruv Maharaj is the second in line of the emperor of the whole material world. Material world means at least a universe. I mean, Dhruv Maharaj. Okay. Otherwise, they would not. He would not ask bigger kingdom than his fathers. And only Brahma had the biggest kingdom. So his demand was to be fulfilled by the influence of Narada Muni. And the Lord was compelled to create another planet like Brahmaloka. That is Dhruvaloka. So they can both remain in the highest longevity of existence. And but that means what? Inviting troubles of Maya. Even though he has been audienced by Vishnu himself to give benedictions, fulfill his desires, but still, after coming in the ruler's life, all the modes are acting to take revenge on one yaksha who has killed. Dhruva wants to annihilate the whole yaksha race. And that kind of, activity is going on. So it is very astonishing how much powerful Dhruva would be. We do not see him like a child playing with bow and arrow. No. Now he has grown up. He ruled for 35,000 years, staying on this planet, but ruled all over the world. Not only this planet Earth, but all the universe. So, who can challenge? Who can challenge the Dhruva? So he thought he can exterminate the whole race. But he was also overboarding. But what we see here is quite on a superlative expressions. Superlative. The best way to loot somebody is the one who comes wearing some riches. Now you cannot go even to Vrindavan having some golden ornaments on your body. In Kali Yuga, the chains pullers are there, snatchers, right in front of Krishna. And they will also say Hare Krishna, and they will also dance. But their aim is to chain the gold, to pull out the chain from the ladies, especially who are not aware of the surrounding. Prabhupada said, even the pujaris have to be alert that If somebody wants to offer golden crown to Lord Krishna and other, should offer and pack it and put in the locker in the bank. Use it when occasion comes. But because this is Kali Yuga, thieves can get access. He can come in the form of a devotee. One time we have caught the head pujari, red-handed, stealing the deity's paraphernalia because he wanted to make a temple in his hometown. Yeah. That was in Chandigarh. He was from Bihar. And he would send like this mic, anything they can pick up. And he was caught in a railway station, red-handed. So like that, what can you do? But we have to train. And in one temple, I wouldn't name it, but some competition is there between the pujaris and those who have been serving for a long time. They cultivated a mentality how to put a pujari who is becoming so famous and so and put him under a kind of suspicion that at least the silver ornaments will be there. But now they are also getting, missing. All right? And they wanted to frame. So that senior devotee who has access to it, they will pick out and put it in their home and then claim, oh, this is missing. Who was the last one? Oh, you. Maya. What to speak of gold? We have the mentality, of course, you want to give whatever you have in service of Krishna, and people want to do. I mean, there are so many occasions in ISKCON that we have to use precious metal. For example, when we were doing the temple in Fiji, I was supposed to do the Anantashesh puja, and then after digging, I asked, anybody has any gold? I have put 9 ratnas already there on the Sheshanag. We have to offer more. And the ladies came like in big numbers. They were starting putting their, bringing out their bracelets and this and that and earrings. And I want to put. And we were so much threatened. Who is going to protect them? Who is going to protect them? Because when you do the ground breaking, there is nothing around it. It is plain, barren land, all right? And you stay somewhere else. So we must have put more than $50,000 worth of gold. And then I have to put up a very strong cement concrete over it. Anantashesh, you can bear the burden of cement concrete. Please forgive me. Because this is Kali Yuga. And we appointed one devotee, okay? And the security guard is also there. So you give him company at least one night, and then we'll see. So when cement concrete will become stone like hard, then we may be safe. But people can pull out the whole block also, but Krishna protected. The best we can do otherwise, but we can't become careless because it will be disservice after offering and you can't preserve it. Okay? So anyway, gold in Kali Yuga and gold in Satya Yuga. All right? So Prabhupada is referring that because the allurement of gold is there, the mentality of reusing, transform from one hand to another, it will keep on going. That's how the bank system also came into existence by Rothschild family, and they were Jewish. Rothschild, they were Jewish, and Jewish are pakka baniya. But Hinduish are also good. Hindus means Hindus. They are equivalent to Jewish. They are called Hindus, not Hindus, but Hindus. So they are also equally competent to amass the world. India is not poor. When I was doing fundraising in the United States, and came to Mumbai temple, and they say, wow, you are doing there, but why are you wasting time there to raise the fund? They think American dollar is higher, so we are equivalent to that. But he says, no, India has so much money, so much money. All these temples are only coming out in India. You can understand. But this is an important fact that we have to look into, that the world is rotating around the sun or the gold. Why sun is golden? Because it must have a lot of gold. That's why the earth is rotating around, right? The time, the value system, devaluing system, and Kali Yuga will come and go, but the gold standard will be the highest. So anybody has any question, comments on this? Yes, you must be dealing with gold, Prabhu. Yeah. I can't hear. Is there any mic? Can somebody tell me? No, let somebody decipher your question. All right.
What is the difference between
There is a mask, and you are still far away.
What is the difference between Yakshas and Rakshasas?
What should be?
What is the difference between Yakshas and Rakshasas? What is the difference between Yakshas and Rakshasas? Difference between Yakshas and Rakshasas.
The charts.
The difference.
The difference between?
Yakshas and Rakshasas.
Yakshas and Rakshasas. Oh my God. Brahma has 4 heads, right? He uses 3 heads in favor of the demigods and use only 1 head. Because Yakshas and Rakshasas were hiding in the shadow of Lord Brahma while he was creating the Visarga. So They saw Brahma is always making us disfavored. He gives everybody their respective bodies first to the demigods. And he doesn't pay attention to us. Okay, let's attack him. Those who say, beat him up, don't spare him. They were called yakshas. And the others said, eat them up, eat him up. They were called rakshasas. Yakshas and rakshasas. They are enemies of Brahma. But somehow there was a truce by Vishnu during the churning of the ocean. And they said, Kuber, will select you to put you in the place of the demigods. So the Rakshas are also happy. We have our man in the government, so no problem. So therefore, they have access to so much wealth. And Rakshasas are usurping somebody else's wealth by hook or crook. They are man-eaters when they don't want to spare even Brahma. So Brahma cried out, oh my God, I'm your father. I'm supposed to give you the body. If you kill me, then how are you going to get the body? So stop this. And then say, yeah, it looks like, So yakshas and rakshasas have been, it's given in Srimad Bhagavatam, when I think in third canto itself, Maitreya Muni describes to Vidurji the formation of these four, the 10th kind of creation of Brahma, and during the Visarga. Yes, anything else?
Is that the reason why the soul comes? Is that the reason why the soul, when it comes from Swargaloka to Bhuloka, the yakshas will eat the bodies of the body?
Again?
Is this the reason why, when the soul coming from Swargaloka to Bhuloka, yakshas will eat the bodies of the falling souls?
Who is coming from Swargaloka to Bhuloka?
They say that the yakshas will catch the body and eat them.
Who catches the body?
Yakshas.
Rakshasas, yakshas, catch the body. Huh? Well, we do not know how yakshas are catching the bodies, but we know definitely how the bodies are, being punished through the same hellish condition, falling off and going in the down look. Yakshas may catch because they want to make them imprison because they are lower. But they don't catch animals, only men. Men can be converted. They don't catch the Hindus. Muslims catch Hindus to convert them. The Christians also catch them. Are they compared to yakshas? And they have a lot of riches also. But they don't have culture. Haribo. Yamaraj is from them, but he's a Mahajan because he's a pure devotee. Is not becoming yaksha during the exile of the Pandavas. A yaksha has ability to remain in disguise So simultaneously, Yudhishthir is Dharmaraj. Vidurji is also Dharmaraj. Yamaraj. So many are authorized Mahajanas about the bhakti. I told you one time about the story of Nachiketa described in Kathopanishad. Nachiketa was a very young boy. And his father was a great Muni, a great Brahman. He received so many cows in charity. So one day he was giving the charity to other Brahmanas. And Nachiketa came, Father, what are you doing? He said, I'm donating the cows. Then Nachiketa went, he came back. Father, what are you doing? Because he wants more detailed situation to clarify. He said, don't you see I am donating cows? Okay, Father. Then again he came. Father, you are donating cows because they are your properties. Whom are you going to donate me because I'm also your property? And father got enraged and said, you're going to check me? I want to donate you to Yamaraj. And Nachiketa said, thank you very much. And he left. He went southward to see Yamaraj. Powerful king. So when he approached the gate of Yamaraj, Yamadutas came. Then they say, no list. Your name is not here. Are you just, getting lost while coming here? This is not the place people come. So he says, no, my father donated me to Yamaraj. That's why I have come. Then they went to Yamaraj. Yamadutas went to Yamaraj and asked, there is a boy asking for your audience. I don't know why he is not in our list. And Yamaraj said, oh, okay. So Yamaraj came out and so Nachiketa said, can you please tell us, we are bewildered, what is the reason you have come? Now, my father is a great Muni, he was giving charity and I also asked him, I'm your property and the property is given as charity. So whom he said, I'll donate you to Yamaraj. So I was very anxious to come to see you and learn more things. So learning, Yamaraj tell, I know nothing but pure devotional service. So please teach me. And Nachiketa got benefited. Yamaraj taught him pure devotional service. So then he said, now you are equipped with full knowledge of the reality. Now you can go back. So when Nachiketa was absent, his father got so much anxious that how come he said this? Because during that time, the Brahmavakya means coming from the mouth of Brahmanas, whatever it is true. And for that relationship, Nachiketa and was very confirmed. He would take his father's words to be correct, but the correction is coming under the influence of pure devotional service. And when he came back, he was so bright, and his father was repenting. How did I say this to him? out of my lust and anger, I have told my son to go die. So Nachiketa came, and his father also running towards him, embraced him. Then father says, please forgive me, Nachiketa. I told you something very harsh that I'm not supposed to, I said, no, father, you did the great job. The most important thing that you sent me to learn from Yamaraj is bhakti. And he taught me well. So this is the story of Nachiketa. And we have to evaluate the true meaning and inspiration from that. Okay. Yes. These are the what they call superhuman activities. These are not ordinary activities. Ordinary activities means we only know ordinary dealings, eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. But one who is crossing over the so-called basic necessities of life, but the foundational necessity is to explore our own reality, being part and parcel. Our original occupation is to serve the Supreme Lord without any deviation. All right? Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki